Steve Street, CEO of Green Dot. Your stock is around where it was priced last year at the IPO. However, it's down about 30% year to date. Tell me, what's going on there?
Hadn't noticed that. A lot of concern. We're a new industry, a new company, and rapid growth company. And there's been concerns over, well, gosh, can they continue to grow at the rate that we said we'd grow? We have, by the way, so far. We've been completely on track with everything we promised at the IPO, and have hit our guidance in every quarter. But can they continue to do that? What's the regulatory environment? The Dodd-Frank Act and the Durbin Interchange Amendment had a lot of concern for investors. That was a question. The Financial Crimes Enforcement Network had rules pending that have since come down, and that was a question. So I think between regulatory questions, can they continue to grow? Is this really as big as everyone says it's going to be? I think all that's kind of weighed heavily, and a lot of short interest too.
Well, let's step back. How do you make money in the prepaid card industry?
Well, there's three buckets for us. One is card usage fees, an ATM fee or the monthly maintenance fee that a customer pays as they use this account, kind of like a subscription model. Another is interchange. Interchange, as you probably know, is the discount rate that retailers pay to MasterCard and Visa and to the banks, and we get our share of that. And the third part is our Reload Network. Green Dot has a network called the Reload Network, which is how our cardholders and also the cardholders of 100 other programs are able to reload cash onto their cards, and they pay a transaction fee to do that. So those are sort of a third in terms of our revenue bucket.
Why don't traditional banks get into this lower end card business? What's keeping them back? And if they do get in, what does it mean for Green Dot?
I think it's a tough business for traditional banks. It's a bit of an oxymoron in the sense that unbanked people, by the way, are not in banks. Thus they're called unbanked. So you don't really have a tremendous number of consumers who don't have bank accounts coursing through the arteries of bank branches. They do course through the arteries of Walmart and CVS and Rite Aid and 7-Eleven. So we have a distribution advantage that makes sense for our customer base. I think banks also, and by the way, banks are fabulous and they offer a very needed service for a very large segment of the American consumer, no question about it. But if you look at the median income, which is now down to $48,000 a year for Americans, half the country is making less than 50 grand a year, or more than half the country. And those folks are not particularly well served by a checking account that has to have high minimum balance requirements, or requires direct deposit to waive certain fees, or has other fees associated with it, overdraft fees and this kind of thing. So checking accounts are awesome, but not for everybody, and Green Dot is, our product is much better suited for that part of America.
You mentioned Walmart. Walmart owns around 5% of your company.
Yeah.
Does this keep you out of other stores? Do folks like Target say, well, I don't want you because you're affiliated with Walmart?
Well, two questions. Does it keep us out because Walmart wants to stay out? No, Walmart wants Green Dot to be the best company it can be, and they're a fabulous partner. And so no, there's nothing contractually that keeps us out. Specifically in the case of Target, it could be that they have some concerns about Green Dot being such a close and integrated partner with Walmart, but that concern in your question would be theirs, not ours or Walmart's. But no, we're in many retailers. We're in 55,000 stores, of which 3,600 are Walmart, so that gives you a sense.
You mentioned at the top of the segment that there is a growing short interest in your stock. It's around about, let's say 13, 14% right now of the float.
Yeah, I think it was a lot higher in the past. It's come down. I think as our stock has gone up a little bit from our low, the more shorts are getting out. But
well, what would you say to the skeptics out there who are short the stock?
Here's my sense, and that's always a tough question for the CEO to opine publicly on. But I would never bet against Green Dot. We have a small penetration with one product that we invented a decade ago that serves a huge portion of the population, and we've become a good-sized public company, right? And we're just getting started. We hit our numbers every quarter and have for many, many years, and there's so much growth out there. So I think it's easy for investors to get hyper-focused on one piece of data or one piece of story, and they're so focused that they don't realize that the entire big picture is developing around them. And I think for our long investors and our long holders who have had the stock for a while and done well with it over the long term, they see the secular picture and the fact that this is a company that continues to grow and has a real need in the marketplace. We solve an important consumer need in a way nobody else does or can, and investors who understand that will be in the stock for a long time.